There is a reason some people stay stuck in survival mode, while others multiply their income and influence year after year. It's not education, it's not connections, and it's definitely not luck. The difference is revelation. The people making millions in business are not chasing money. They're unlocking models and markets that were designed to multiply. There's a system behind the success. There's a strategy behind the scale. And if you're ready to stop playing small, this is the moment your shift begins. See, most people have been conditioned to believe that wealth is earned only through effort, hours, and exhaustion. But the real truth is wealth is earned through alignment. Aligning your business model with the marketplace that's already hungry, already desperate, and already spending. $1,000,000 markets don't need to be created. They need to be identified. And $1,000,000 business models don't need to be invented. They need to be deployed. What you need is not to grind harder. You need to think higher. There is a market that will pay you $10, $0, $0, $0, $25, $0, $0, $0, even $1, $100, $0, $0, $0 to solve a single problem. Not because you're the most famous, but because you are the most focused. Not because you have 10 degrees, but because you offer one clear solution. Most entrepreneurs waste their lives running in circles because they never build a business around value. They build it around activity. That's not wealth. That's slavery with a fancier title. It's time to wake up. You don't need more motivation. You need a model that works. You don't need more ideas. You need a market that moves. This is not about hype. It's about heaven's design for your abundance. If you can shift your belief, you can shift your business. If you can shift your business, you can shift your legacy. Today, I want to walk you through the exact patterns that make millions, business models that multiply income, and business markets that produce overflow. This is not theory. This is kingdom economics in action. This is business done with boldness, with purpose, and with power. And if you're ready to stop surviving and start scaling, then lean in, because your next breakthrough isn't in the hustle. It's in the model, it's in the market, and it starts right now. Most people chase scale before they master service. They believe that in order to make millions, they need millions of followers, millions of clicks, or millions of customers. But wealth doesn't start with width, it starts with depth. The truth is, $1,000,000 markets are never created by reaching everyone. They are built by serving someone deeply, intentionally, and with unmatched value. When you go deep, you create results. And when you create results, word spreads faster than any advertisement ever could. Value before volume means you stop focusing on how many people see you and start focusing on how powerfully you serve the ones who already do. It means you understand that one high-level client can be more valuable than 100 low-level buyers. It means you choose excellence over exposure. You stop chasing the crowd and you start creating transformation. Because transformation is the most valuable product in the world, and the market will always pay premium prices for people who can deliver real results. This is where so many entrepreneurs miss it. They try to appeal to everyone. They water down their message to fit every market. But in doing so, they lose the sharp edge that makes them stand out. Generalists get ignored. Specialists get paid. If you want to unlock $1,000,000 markets, you must become a master of one thing. You must solve one painful problem for one specific person in a way no one else can. And when you do that, you don't have to shout. The market finds you. When you operate from value first, something powerful happens. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop needing validation because you know with full confidence that what you offer creates change. You walk into the marketplace with authority, not desperation, and that energy is magnetic. High-level clients want to work with people who operate from conviction, not confusion. Think about it. Would you rather sell a $10 product to 10, 0, 0, 0 people, or a $10, 0, 0, 0 solution to 10 people? One requires volume, the other requires value, and in today's economy, value wins every time. The people who scale to 7 and 8 figures aren't the loudest, they're the clearest. They aren't everywhere. They're exactly where they need to be, serving the right people with the right solution at the right price. So instead of asking, how can I reach more people? Start asking, how can I serve deeper? How can I solve a bigger problem? How can I create more transformation? Because when you get that right, the volume will come, the referrals will flow, the testimonials will pile up. And your business won't just grow, it will multiply. There is a major difference between selling products and selling transformation. Most people spend their energy trying to move you. It's pushing low-cost offers to as many people as possible, thinking that volume will bring wealth. But that approach creates burnout, not breakthrough. The real money, the real influence, and the real freedom come from building a business around impact. Dick, it isn't just about high prices, it's about high value. It's about changing lives in such a significant way that the price becomes a reflection of the result, not just the effort. When you sell high ticket, you're not just offering a product. You're offering a new reality. You're saying, if you trust this process, your life will look different on the other side. That could be health, relationships, finances, business growth, anything. But it must be clear. Because people don't buy coaching, courses, or consulting. They buy change. And the more powerful that change is, the more they're willing to pay. Think of it this way. Someone who needs to lose 5 pounds might browse a $20 ebook. But someone facing a medical crisis who needs to lose 50 pounds to survive will pay $10, 0, euro 0 for the right coach to walk them to transformation. Why? Because the stakes are higher, the urgency is higher. The value of the result is exponentially greater. High-tech, it isn't about exploiting need. It's about meeting it with excellence, with expertise, and with outcomes that matter. The challenge is that many entrepreneurs are afraid to charge what their value is truly worth. They believe high prices will drive people away. But the truth is, low prices attract low commitment. When someone pays $97, they might skip the lesson. When someone pays $700, they show up differently. They engage, they apply, they transform. So high-tech, it offers don't just attract higher income, they create higher impact. They activate deeper responsibility in your clients and deeper authority in you. There's a reason high-level clients don't want cheap solutions. They want proven paths, they want certainty, they want access, speed, and depth. When you position your offer as a true solution, not just a product, not just content, but a full transformation, you no longer have to compete on price. You compete on power. You become the one person who can solve the one problem they can no longer ignore. This is where wealth is built. Not in pushing endless transactions, but in crafting transformational journeys. Not in lowering your price to fit small budgets, but in raising your standard to match high-level problems. People will always pay more for what moves them, heals them, and frees them. That's what high-tech it is really about. So if you want to grow your business, don't just add more products, increase your impact. Solve bigger problems. Deliver deeper change, because when your offer changes someone's destiny, price is never the objection. In fact, price becomes proof that what you do is powerful. Height tick, it equals high impact, and high impact is what builds legacies. Wealth doesn't wait, it moves quickly. It rewards clarity, decisiveness, and execution. While most people spend years stuck in planning, researching, and guessing, the people who build wealth understand a powerful truth: speed is a multiplier. Wealth loves speed because money responds to movement. The faster you identify the right opportunity, test the right model, and scale what works, the faster the results flow. There is no prize for being the most prepared. The reward goes to the one who moves with intention and adapts in real time. Far too many entrepreneurs delay their breakthrough because they're addicted to perfection. They want everything to be polished before they launch. But in business, money doesn't go to the perfect, it goes to the present. The people who win are the ones who take fast, focused action. They launch, they learn, and they leverage what they learn. Speed doesn't mean recklessness. It means responsiveness. It means you don't sit on an idea for months when you can test it in days. It means you don't wait for every answer before you move. You move to get the answers. When you operate with speed, you shorten the gap between concept and cash. You quickly find out what works, what doesn't, and what needs to change. You don't spend years building a program only to discover there's no demand. You build the framework, release it fast, and let the market tell you what to adjust. That speed gives you data, and data gives you power. Wealth creation isn't just about hard work. It's about fast work. Not sloppy work, but focused, strategic, test-driven action that leads to rapid feedback and rapid refinement. When you operate in speed, you're constantly improving. While others are thinking, you're building. While others are watching, you're launching. While they're hesitating, you're scaling. And that's why you win. Most people are waiting for the right moment. But moments aren't found, they're created. You create them by moving forward even when you don't have all the answers. Speed builds momentum, and momentum compounds. One decision leads to the next. One test reveals the next opportunity. And before long, you're not just running a business, you're riding a wave of acceleration that others can't even understand. Speed also builds confidence. Every time you take fast action, you silence the voice of doubt. You show yourself that you're capable, courageous, and committed. Confidence attracts capital. Confidence closes deals. Confidence scales companies. And confidence is built through movement. In the past, building wealth meant owning land, properties, or physical assets. Real estate was the gold standard of passive income. But the game has shifted. Today, the most powerful assets aren't physical. They're digital. Courses, coaching programs, licensing deals, and intellectual property are the new empires being built. And they don't require bricks, buildings, or banks. They require expertise, clarity, and leverage. Digital leverage is the new real estate, and it's available to anyone with a message, a method, or a mission. This shift means you no longer need millions in capital to build something valuable. What you need is a solution that works and a system that delivers it. You can take your knowledge, package it once, and deliver it over and over to thousands of people without adding more hours or overhead. That's digital leverage. It's the ability to multiply your impact and income without multiplying your effort. A digital course can teach hundreds or thousands of people, while you sleep. A coaching program can guide a group of committed clients through a transformation without needing one time for every lesson. A licensing model can allow others to use your proven process under your brand, expanding your reach while they do the work. These are not small upgrades, these are wealth accelerators. What makes digital leverage so powerful is the scalability. You create the system once, and then you market it, refine it, and let it grow. You're not limited by geography. You're not held back by inventory. You're not chained to a location or office. You have freedom, and that freedom creates focus. You can now build a business around your life, not a life around your business. The key is to understand that your experience, your expertise, your framework, that's your real estate. That's your value. Just like a developer sees potential in an empty lot, you must see the wealth potential in the ideas you've mastered. If you've solved a problem for yourself or for someone else, you can monetize that solution through a leveraged model. The market doesn't just pay for information, it pays for organization. It pays for speed, clarity, and transformation. When you build a digital asset, you create a vehicle that can produce income long after the work is done. Digital leverage also opens doors to higher-level impact. It allows you to reach more people, serve at scale, and build a legacy brand that lives beyond you. You're no longer trading time for money. You're creating systems that trade value for money 24/7 globally, consistently. If you want to earn more, solve more. If you want to scale faster, serve higher. $1,000,000 markets are not crowded with convenience or comfort. They exist where the stakes are high, the pain is deep, and the need is urgent. The biggest money always follows the biggest problems. And the most powerful clients are not looking for casual solutions. They are looking for clarity, certainty, and change. When you position yourself as the solution to high-stakes problems, you don't chase success, success chases you. Most people waste time solving surface-level issues. They build offers around minor annoyances, quick tips, or nice-to-haves. And as a result, they attract indecision, low-budget buyers, and inconsistent revenue. But when you focus on problems that actually matter, problems that are costing someone time, energy, reputation, health, relationships, or millions in revenue, your offer becomes a necessity, not a luxury, and people pay for necessities. Think about it. Someone struggling to get more organized may spend $20 on a productivity app. But a CEO losing $50,000 a month due to poor systems will gladly invest $25,000 in a consultant who can solve that. Why? Because the pain is greater and the payoff is immediate. People will pay premium prices when the cost of inaction is higher than the cost of your solution. That's where $1,000,000 markets live, in the space between desperation and transformation. Serving higher levels doesn't mean being elitist. It means being elevated. It means you know who you are called to serve, and you're not afraid to charge what the solution is worth. It also means raising your standard. The higher the level of client, the greater the demand for excellence, speed, precision, and results. You don't get to play casual. You become the surgeon, not the street medic. You operate with mastery, not mediocrity. When you solve bigger problems, your positioning changes. You are no longer one of many. You become one of one. You shift from being a vendor to a visionary, from a service provider to a strategic partner. People don't just pay you, they pursue you. You're not trying to get on their calendar, they're trying to get on yours. The urgency of a problem creates the demand for a solution. The higher the urgency, the less time wasted. High-level clients don't need to be convinced, they need to be clear. And when your message matches their moment, decisions get made fast and payments get made faster. Faith is not just a spiritual principle, it's a business strategy. It's the foundation that anchors clarity, fuels purpose, and drives decisive action. Faith-driven focus is what separates those who build temporary success from those who build generational impact. When you operate from faith, you don't second-guess your calling. You don't shrink in the face of resistance. You move forward with boldness, even when the outcome isn't fully visible. And in that obedience, abundance begins to flow. Not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. Most people operate from fear and call it caution. They wait for signs, confirmations, and perfect timing. But faith doesn't need evidence. It needs obedience. It's the belief that what you've been assigned to do is already resourced. It's the decision to move, even when the path ahead is foggy, because you know the vision was never yours to begin with, it was given to you. That level of clarity creates magnetism. When your purpose is clear, the right people, resources, and opportunities begin to show up, not because you're lucky, but because you're aligned. Wealth responds to purpose, not empty hustle, not constant pivoting, but focused intention. Faith keeps you focused. It keeps you from chasing every shiny strategy and forces you to stay rooted in what truly matters. It reminds you that you're not just building a business, you're stewarding an assignment, and assignments attract provision. That's why you don't have to manipulate people to make sales. You don't have to beg for attention. When you operate with faith-driven focus, you become a magnet for the right clients. Your message sharpens, your voice strengthens, and your presence in the marketplace shifts from noise to necessity. People follow clarity, people trust conviction, people buy from those who know who they are and why they're here. That's the power of purpose. But purpose without belief still leaves you stuck. Faith is what activates movement. It's what keeps you showing up when the numbers are low, the audience is silent, or the launch falls flat. It reminds you that you're building something bigger than a brand. You're building impact, legacy, and change. And as long as you're obedient to that, success becomes inevitable. So many entrepreneurs focus on tactics before alignment. But when you have faith-driven focus, you start within before you scale outward. You listen before you launch. You clarify before you create. You trust before you see. And that trust becomes your greatest asset. Faith doesn't eliminate action, it empowers it. It gives your steps meaning, your business vision, and your work eternal weight. When you align with your God-given assignment, provision finds you, favor follows you, and abundance flows through you not just for your gain, but for the impact you're called to make. Let's bring it all together now. The truth is, million-dollar businesses are not a myth. They are not reserved for the lucky, the famous, or the wildly connected. They are built by those who understand the principles, master the models, and serve the markets that are already positioned to produce. You've now seen what separates struggling entrepreneurs from those who create unstoppable momentum and unshakable income. It's not just effort, it's strategy. It's not just hustle, it's alignment. And above all, it's not just about doing more. It's about doing what matters more. When you build with value before volume, you stop chasing everyone and start deeply serving the right someone. You become the obvious solution in a crowded space, not because you're louder, but because you're more focused. When you step into height, it equals high impact. You shift your entire business from selling low Ost products to delivering hive. Al, you transformations, the kind that actually changes lives and, in return, changes your income. You've learned that wealth loves speed. Success does not reward hesitation. It rewards movement. Those who implement fast, test quickly, and refine as they go are the ones who create momentum and multiply their income. You don't need to have it perfect to begin. You just need to begin. The market doesn't reward the best idea. It rewards the most committed execution. And now you see why digital leverage is the new real estate. The assets that produce wealth today are not tied to buildings. They're tied to intellectual property, systems, and automated solutions. Your course, your coaching program, your licensing model, those are digital assets that create value at scale with less time and more freedom. Build once, deliver many, that's the new wealth code. But it's not just about scale. It's about solving bigger problems and serving higher levels. If your income has a ceiling, it's because your problem solving has a limit. Go where the pain is greater, where the stakes are higher, and where the investment makes sense. $1,000,000 markets live in the place where results are urgent, and transformation is non-negotiable. Your assignment isn't to stay in the shallow end. It's to dive deep and bring change to the people who are willing and ready to pay for it. And none of this works without faith-driven focus. At the foundation of it all is the belief that what you're building has purpose. That you're not just chasing money, you're walking in alignment with a vision that's bigger than you. Obedience to that calling brings provision. Clarity brings confidence, and purpose attracts prosperity. When you combine strategy with conviction and business with belief, you don't just build income, you build impact. So this is your moment, not to keep learning, but to start moving. Your next level is not waiting for you to feel ready, it's waiting for you to decide. Choose to build with value. Choose to scale with speed. Choose to lead with faith. The model is in your hands. The market is ready. The millions are already moving. Now, it's your turn to claim your place in the flow.